Eyewitness account, I went to the rally just spontaneously. Guess what I felt? Complete energy shift. Saw the timeline change. I saw the other timeline happen. In the other timeline, Donald Trump was assassinated. This created such a scramble for Monday. So Monday was the RNC. They had to present a Republican candidate, so they were able to go against the Biden administration. Donald Trump was privy to the timeline changes. He wasn't told exactly when it was going to happen, but this scenario was going to happen. Trump took one for the team. He is going against the cabal, the elites, and he is unraveling a lot of things. Now, are we a fan of Donald Trump? I respect yet again his unique position to influence and evolve human consciousness onto a whole different timeline. Yes, I know government doesn't rule anything. They are two wings of one bird. Everything is going to be unraveling here soon. Be patient. And all of the downloads and information that I was presented with showed after Donald Trump was assassinated on Saturday, that huge scramble for a Republican nominee candidate. They chose JD Vance. I don't really know who JD Vance is. I know I'm in Ohio, but we had DeWine for such a long time. Not really sure who he is, but I guess he's a part of Ohio. So yay for Ohio to have JD Vance now as the vice president for Donald Trump. This is the nominee. So that makes sense in my mind why I see him. But what I also saw was Biden already was going to step down. That's why they were pushing that narrative, kind of pushing him out right before the Trump assassination. So this was fresh in your mind. Now, they already planned that Biden was going to step down. He wasn't really happy about it, but he did it anyway because he's being pushed that way to do it. He is a puppet. So in both timelines, Biden was going to step down. This has always been a part of the plan, and now they're scrambling for a Democratic candidate for this. What I saw on that other timeline was Kamala Harris was going against RFK Jr. RFK Jr. won that election because he went against JD Vance. And so what I saw after that with RFK Jr., he was on the apocalyptic timeline. He was also privy to this information. He knew that Trump was going to be assassinated in one timeline, and then the best situation moving on forth, even knowing that the future apocalypse was basically going to unravel on that timeline, he was going to try to undo as much as possible, but he stepped up to the plate. He knew that he was going to be the next president in that second timeline, riding forth the destruction of humanity and their evolution onto a completely different timeline that we did not want to be on. So kudos for RFK for jumping into that timeline full force and taking control and trying to steer America in a completely different direction. But right now, during that second timeline, it is so chaotic. People are rioting. I see this. People are rioting, and it's just really a mess. That whole second timeline became a mess very quickly. Now with Biden finally out of the picture, Miss Kamala Harris is up for grabs. So not only is Biden endorsing Kamala Harris, but the Clintons are too. So what do you think is happening with the Clintons and the Biden administration supporting this one? So the other timeline is so chaotic. So not only do they have the assassination of President Trump, but they also had that huge scramble for the Republican nominee, which was JD Vance. Stuck right on top of that, this also happened on that second timeline, and people just freaked out because there was already so many negative things that were happening. This one piled right on top of it, creating another layer of that fear and that anxiety and that anger. So a lot of riots were going on, and a lot of people were just terrified. That fear factor really amped up after this. And this major global internet outage was a test. This was testing the response of humans and what they would do if the banks and the businesses and their airlines were grounded. So they're testing the waters on what is going to come. But remember, we're on the second timeline. The second timeline has a much positive, more outlook. So what they're doing with this global IT outage is they're switching up all of the data on there so we can go ahead and slide into a new financial system much easier. That quantum financial system is underway, but they have to take baby steps to get there. They're also going to shut off the power, more internet. They're going to switch that 5G frequency to something completely new because That 5G is sticking us into that Earth grid, that 3D Earth grid that is maintaining a low frequency so people maintain and are mind controlled. They can mind control these people through frequencies. So that other timeline, complete mess with this going on. This second timeline, the positive timeline, this is a baby step on the future of evolution. We're getting incoming frequencies and they're setting us up for success. Although this could be very scary, but if you're remaining neutral and watching the party and movie unfold, no surprise here. And I see a lot more unfolding as we go into August, September, October, November. These are prime time false flag opportunities. We're going to see man-made UFO crafts that are going to explode in the UFO community. That alien disclosure is going to slowly come out, but they're going to notice that the new type of technology that's coming out from the government is these man-made UFO structures. So they have to get everybody used to that coming in from here on out. And that's what you're seeing in the skies right now. It's not necessarily interdimensional beings that are coming down. Yes, they will come later, much later. We have to have patience. But what we need to get acclimated right now is seeing those man-made government ships. As they're flying ahead, nobody is freaking out. Everything is very precise in this timeline, and we only have a short amount of time before that magnetic field really breaks down and humanity awakens. But we need them to awaken to a better, more positive outlook. So we're setting them up. Baby steps are ahead, but our Galactic Federation is really on top of it. And as a ground crew member, so are you. We're opening up those portals, and we are going to be the pioneers to help everybody else understand what is really going on. Because the time is coming closer. Our planet is about to be reborn. Love ya.